You want to get better at FC25 now? Before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money? That's the Nil Guys guarantee. We got in-depth tutorials that are not even on the YouTube channel. We show you the theory of something and we show you gameplay examples in a structured format. We also go over real-life football examples that apply to the game and exclusive pro gameplay analysis, full gameplay analysis to elevate your game. We teach you everything from the basics to the meta. Come join at patreon.com/Nil Guys. Links down below in the description. If you don't get better after 1 month, we'll refund your money. That's the Nil Guys guarantee. Links down below in the description. All right, what's going on, guys? Let's go over the tactical layout for the 4-2-3-1. Now, for those you don't know, the 4-2-3-1 shares a lot of resemblance to the 4-4-1-1. We're going to go over Levy's tactics here. Now, what's important, I'm just going to show you just a quick example. The 4-2-3-1, if you love the 4-4-1-1, you'll like this formation more, because the difference between this and the 4-4-1-1 is that you have CDMs. CDMs, they sit deeper and they help you more defensively. So if you like the 4-4-1-1, but you always find it to be a bit too aggressive, with that CDM, it's the same formation. Yes, you don't have traditional inside forwards, but you can make them half wingers or playmakers. We're going to go through that, and I'm going to give you the full tactical layout right now as well. Let's just delete this one that we made temporarily, and let's go through the tactics. So first off, we're going to start off with a defensive tactic. We've got 4-2-3-1 narrow. That's the cone in the top left. Short passing, and we've gone 31, the lowest depth you can before you're going into that deep territory, which you don't want to really go. You sit too far back. We got false 9 for the striker, helping in midfield, help to close out the game. This would be one to start the game with or close out the game with. If you're going to start the game with this one, put this player on advanced forward, not false 9. We got half winger, so we're trying to emulate that 4-4-1-1 with the Lamina around being like those wide players. And then you have the two CDMs on holding and the back 4 and 4-back defend. A very conservative defensive variation, I would say, of this formation. The only thing I would say, look, you can start the game with this formation, or you can use it as your closing out formation. In fact, you can create 2 of these. One thing I would say is if you are going to use this as your starting formation, probably put Son on the advanced forward. At least that way you got some attacking threat. False 9 is for those that really like those possession or finesse shot play styles, or those that want to close out the game. But it's going to be a short passing game, one to close out the game, and of course you got those wide players to distribute the ball to as well. Just ignore Bellingham there. I'm just using him as an example over here. Then we have Levy's tactics. This is his exact one. I've just used his exact tactics. I believe he used 50. I'm not too sure. He does use balanced. So this is going to be the balanced formation. Don't forget, with Levy, he's got one of his left backs as a wing back balanced going forward. And attacking wing back, look, you don't, this is what I was just talking about. Look, you don't want to make it too attacking, right? So when you have a system like this and you're trying to progressively build up, you want to have it so it's systematic. So don't go too gung-ho on your second tactic. No, if you go 1-0 down, it's not the end of the world. You have to change to an all-out attacking tactic immediately. Don't go gung-ho unless you need to. When you're 2-0 down and it's 70 minutes to go, okay, then maybe you should start thinking about it. But if you're going 1-0 down in the first 15, 20 minutes, don't need to change the tactic, go immediately. The worst thing you want to do is go 2-0 down. So go on a conservative. Now, his tactic is actually very, very good. Don't forget, there's a lot of L1 triggers. The benefit of these ones is that they sit more centralized. I think this is as I mentioned a few days ago when I made this tactics video, I think it's the perfect formation for finesse shots, because you're the two CDMs that sit back and hold you defensively when you lose the ball, and you got everyone in the right place at the right time. I use this a lot in FIFA 19 for my finesse shots when it was a finesse shot meta in the first patch in FIFA 19 before it was Beach Ball FC. And he has won the wingback players. So you could argue much more attacking with one of the wingback players, but not going gung-ho onto that attacking wingback territory. So that would be Levy's tactics. I think he uses 50 depth. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but that's his tactics that he did use. If you wanted the exact layout with the sweeper keeper, the one that he used, you can of course see that video yesterday. But these would be the proposed changes that I would make. Then we have an attacking variation. Now, to make this more of a 4-4-1-1, you want to put the cam on a shadow striker. That is what will make you have that shadow striker feeling, and it will kind of play like that second striker in a 4-4-1-1. I feel like if you want that player to be more involved in attack, you got to put them on a shadow striker. So for the attacking variation, we have gone with this. We put one of the sides on a attacking winger and attacking wing back. Look, this is something that you can do. This is one variation. Or if you want to, and the reason why I've done this, by the way, in case you're wondering, why have I done this? We put the wide half as a CDM. So the CDM basically covers for Navas when he goes forward, and then you got Bellingham as a half winger. To be honest, you don't need to even do this. You can literally just put something like this, a playmaker like this, and that way you've got, for example, your regular 4-2-3-1, except for you have one CDM, a fullback joining the attack, and then one of your CDMs covering for your right back going forward. So you're basically progressively moving up from this one on the other side, and then you can have it like this. Now, look, when you're with your attacking tactic, this is what's very important. When I give you these tactics, it's more of a template that you need to configure yourself, okay? Because someone out there is going to be like to me, oh, Neil, I love using the classic 10. Then use the classic 10. Always adjust. Look, my job is to give you a template. My job is to give you the blueprint. But sometimes in your plans, you want to change something, then change the blueprint. Change it for your own playstyle. Yeah, it's all fine and good. Remember, a few years ago, you copied my tactics exactly like for like. That's fine. But I've been trying to teach over the years to adapt it to your playstyle. Do you think pros go around copying each other's tactics? No. They adapted. They change the depth, whatever they need to for their playstyle. We've gone with counter, a bit more attacking. This could give you another attacking variation. Personally speaking, I like Shadow Striker, and that's where I've done it. So you're basically removing one CDM, it's going to the right back, and you're going to have an attacking player down the wing, more of an attacking force on the right-hand side. And I put Poacher on Son. Another thing people keep asking me, sometimes, if something's not working inside the game, change it up. You can, in fact, have 4 formations, maybe one of the strikers on a poacher, maybe 2 of the strikers on a poacher, maybe both of them on advanced forward. So if you just play a singular formation, always change it up, because sometimes you might want to make that small, minute change to create that movement, especially if you're not that good with L1 triggers. Always try to change things up. So this would be the attacking variation. I've just put one, the fullbacks to become more attacking. It's up to you what you want to do. You don't even have to even put the CDM on wide half. You can leave them as holding and have the fullback going. But I actually really like this new role because it kind of covers for that player. Try to get a quick player that can move across. Until we get wide half, plus is probably the way to go. And then for the ultra attacking setup, we've gone with something like this. Now, that's meant to be a playmaker. Now, as I said to you, the classic 10 is up to you. Now, as I said, I like to use Shadow Striker. So this is the way that I've done it, okay? With a wide half. Now, what you can do, let's say you're thinking, well, no, this is a bit all over the place. How can I make this a bit more seamless? Okay, so what you could do on this one, so I'm just going to show you how I make, because this is very interesting for you guys to learn, okay? This is how I'd make an attacking tactic. So let's say my most attacking tactic, like so, okay? Now let's say, for example, just for example's sake, what we're going to do is we're going to leave CDM like this, and we've got one of the attacking players, Navas, join the attack. So if you want to make this more attacking, what you could do is you'll duplicate the exact tactic, right? And we're just going to call this, just for example's sake, we're going to call this UA for ultra attacking. So this would be the formation to use, let's say, for example, when you're losing 2-0, you start applying pressure. So what you would do is I would normally go with counter. For the depth, I'll increase this normally to high. I don't really go to aggressive. I think that's pushing it too much. I can always use the team press D-pad tactic. So I'll go something a bit more conservative like 75. But also, when I've done that, I also want to make it more attacking than my attacking tactic. So what I would do, for example, is then you can decide, okay, shall I make my cam a Shadow Striker? And for example, do I need to put both of the fullbacks on join the attack? Now, the reason why I don't do this is because this is too attacking. And I feel like with 2 players at the back, you know more than anyone, you're going to get countered. The only way you could do this, right? Let's say you really like this kind of style. You're like, you know what? No, I really like 2 players. Then put one of your CDMs at the centre half. At least that way you got a makeshift back 3, and then you got the attacking wing back creating the width, okay? Now let's say, for example, you're like, you know what, no, I don't like that. I like to play in the middle of the pitch. Then what you could do is, I still think have one of them on the attacking wing back. What you could do is, for example, you can have one of your fullbacks on fullback defend, for example, like so. And then what you could do, for example, is like as I said to you, if you want to, you could, for example, use the wide half to cover for Navas if you want to. And I think that's a really good option. Or secondly, what you could do is, let's say, for example, the problem is with this formation is you have these players in CDM. They're not attacking center mids. The big issue is with formations like this is because you're limited to cams, it's very hard to change to another formation. Because let's say you got 3 cams, what other formations can you play? You can go with a 4-5-1, but you're very much restricted on what you can do. You can see, for example, like, hey, you could go to this one if you had left mids and right mids, but you don't have left mids and right mids. So these are all the problems that you're going to be running into. So if I was to make this into a more attacking formation, I will take those into consideration. So what I'll be like, you know what? The best things I can do here is I can, for example, put a shadow striker on the cam. That way I've got that very, very attacking. And if I want to make, for example, the more attacking option of the fullbacks, I commit one of the fullbacks forward like so, and I would use it like this for a few games, and I'll be like, okay, let's see how this is. If this is too attacking, what I could do is I can then move a player like this, and with this new role I can then cover for that side, and then I can be more defensive on the right hand side to maintain that back four, but at least have that more attacking presence while losing one of the CDMs. If I want to be more attacking, I can be like, okay, you know what, maybe I'll leave this on ball winning, for example, and I'll, for example, leave one I'm holding. Maybe I can put one of these players on a deep line playmaker, and then maybe you could put one of these fullbacks unbalanced. So you can still have those two CDMs, but you know you're going to have a hole on your right hand side. The reason I'm trying to explain all these things to you is because I'm trying to get you to learn and adjust these tactics for yourself, because everyone just keeps saying, oh, let me copy tactics. Guys, copying tactics is good, but you need to change it for your playstyle. Do you think pros go around just copying each other's tactics? No, they made those adjustments. So you need to know what you're good at. So if you're watching this video right now and you're saying, you know what, no, I'm that player that you mentioned. I cannot play with a back three because when I lose the ball, I'm not good enough and I get countered. Then that's fine. Then make the solution, make the change. And the best thing about this wide half playstyle role, should I say, is that now you can cover for that position. So that's just a few things to take into account. So you can copy these like for like if you want. You got the defensive variation, we got Levy's tactics, we got a bit more of an attacking tactic here with one of the players that's attacking wing back, and we got one with a hole in the midfield, and then we got one where we have a higher depth, and then we have, for example, the CDM covering for that. So let's say, for example, with a higher depth, maybe let's say you put this to, let's say you put 75 or 80, for example, like so. Why is that not saving? Hate this when this happens. Can't believe they haven't fixed this yet, by the way. Save changes. Back out. Yes, thankfully, maybe I made that mistake there. And but like this way, look, you can have higher depth, be more aggressive, and that way you don't have to worry about yourself being exploited from the right back position. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about tactics, you can come to my Patreon. So it's patreon.com/no guys. Click over here. If you don't give it after 1 month, to refund your money. We've got more tactics videos. We explain how tactics work. We explain how roles work. And we explain over everything. And of course, tutorials. So if you don't get it after 1 month, we'll refund your money. So no guys guarantee. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. And of course, I'll catch you next time. Peace.